I believe all are back.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's correct. So, um, find the value of m in this. So m is equal to n by 2 plus 3 and half. N is equal to x by 2 minus 4 and x equal to this much. So this is a pretty straightforward problem. It's not a simultaneous equation. So it's like you have x's value. You can simply substitute this value over here. So you can solve n is equal to 2 by 2, which is nothing but equal to 1. Cancels gives you 1. 1 minus 4. 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Now you have n's value. So we can directly substitute this n's value over here. That will give you minus 3 by 2. And converting this mixed fraction into a normal fraction, that gives you 7 by 2. Minus 3 plus 7 gives you 4 by 2. That gives you 2. So the value of m is 2. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Proceeding further. A man has some hens and cows. Let me say x hens and y cows this man has. The number of heads is 48. So that says the total number of x plus y is equal to 48. And the next one is the number of feet is 140. So basically hens are having 2 feet. So that gives you 2x. Plus cows are having 4 feet. That gives 4y is equal to 140. Then the number of cow he has. So basically they want to find y. अगर y find करना तो x को eliminate करो. So in order to eliminate x, what I'll do, I'll multiply this whole equation by 2. So 2x, 2y and 48 की जगह पे I'll write 96. So once you double this, you simply subtract. So when you subtract, you'll be getting 2 minus 4 minus 2y. And 96 minus 140 gives you minus 44. That gives y is equal to 22. Your answer is option 3. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll wait.
So the answer of previous question was 2, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay.
Okay, let's proceed. 24th question. Wait, yeah, wait, just a minute. Have I just noted it down? Let me just check. 23rd का answer key is open. Yeah. 24th. 10 years ago, the age of the father was 4 times the age of his son. 10 years hence, the age of the father will be twice of his son. What is the sum of the ages of the father and son at present? So 10 years ago, the age of the father was 4 times. So let me say age. Okay. So let me say the father's present age is x and son's present age is y. Okay. We are supposed to find x plus y, as simple as that. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Now, the first scenario speaks about 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, the father's age was x minus 10. It was 4 times the age of his son. So this x minus 10 is equal to 4 times the age of son. Obviously, the son's age was also y minus 10 because it was 10 years ago. So this will help us to find the first equation. This is the first clue, okay, from which we'll be getting the first equation. And then there is another clue 10 years hence, whatever in the future. In the future, x plus 10 will be the father's age. Age of the father will be twice of his son. So 2 times his son's age. That will be y plus 10. This is your second clue from which you're going to get the second equation. So let's first find these two equations. So that will give me x minus 10 is equal to 4y minus 40. Okay, so that gives me 4y minus x is equal to 30. Basically, what I've done, I've taken this minus 40 to that side. That gives you plus 40 minus 10 is 30. And I've taken x this side. That gives me 4y minus x is 30. I hope it's clear. Okay. Or maybe you can write minus x 4y as well. Whichever suits better to you. It's not compulsory as such. Sequence is not a problem. Okay. Anyway, so next is what x plus 10 is equal to 2y plus 20. So again, I take 20 to the side. 20 minus 10 gives you, let's say, sorry, 10 minus 20 is my, okay, I'll take to that side. So 20 minus 10 gives you 10 on the right hand side. I take 2y this side. That gives me x minus 2y on the side. So this is my first equation. This is my second equation. Now, what I'll do, I'll have to simply add them. I don't have to do anything else. I simply have to add them. So when I add them, minus x plus x gets cancelled, and I will get 4y minus 2y, 2y on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, I have 30 plus 10, that is 40. That gives me y, which is the son's age, son's present age to be 20. Okay. And I will substitute this y is equal to 20 anywhere. It's okay, I can substitute it anywhere. X minus 2y is equal to 10. So that gives me x minus 2 into 20 is 40 is equal to 10. That gives me x is equal to 50. So the father's current age is 50 and the son's current age is 20. That gives the sum of their age to be 70.
70.
Yeah, option 2 is your correct answer. I believe you guys are done.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So 25th problem, a boat can go 84 kilometers upstream in 4 hours and 105 kilometers downstream in 3 hours. Find the speed of the boat in still water. So it's like, first of all, let's find the speed in upstream. Now, what is the difference between upstream and downstream? So I'll just explain that. So just imagine this is a river. So river will have its own speed. So let me call that speed of the river as, R. For our reference, I'll call it as R. What is R? R is river speed because it is flowing. And there is a boat which has its own engine. Its engine will also have its own speed. So I'll say boat speed. I'll call this boat speed as, let's say, B for our understanding. So this boat is also having some kind of speed. I'll call this as B. Okay. Now, what is happening downstream and upstream means what? So when the boat is going down means what? Slope mein jana. Just imagine slope. You can imagine the slope. So whenever there is a slope, when you're going down the slope, you get the support of gravity due to which you can travel faster. So similarly, downstream means going along with the river. River के साथ जा रहा है. Okay, and this is called as downstream. Okay, and upstream means the river is going in this particular direction, but the boat is coming in the opposite direction of the river. This is called as upstream. Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now, now what happens, for example, when you're riding a bicycle also, जब normal road पे तुम चलाते हो, when you're riding on a normal road, on a flat road, let me say your speed is, let's say, for example, let's say it's 20 kilometer per hour. But when you ride on a slope, you get the advantage of slope due to which your speed increases. It will not be 20, it will be maybe 30, maybe 40 or something like that. At the same time, when you climb up a hill, you cannot maintain the speed of 20. It will be lesser. It will be a lesser speed. It will be 20, something less than 20, maybe 10, maybe 15 or something like that. So my point is, whenever you're going downstream, your speed is more. Why is your speed more? Because the speed of the river gets added with the speed of the boat. So the total speed going downstream is basically the speed of river plus speed of boat. Okay, so far it's clear. And when it's coming upstream, the speed will be speed of boat minus speed of river. Any doubt so far?
So why speed of boat minus river? It can be river minus boat also, right?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the logic. Now, what happens if the boat is going forward when the river is going back? If the boat is still going forward, which means the speed of the boat was greater, right? इसलिए तो आगे गया. If the speed of the boat was
Yeah.
lesser, then वो पीछे जाता. Okay. Now, since
Yes,
the
sir.
boat is going
Understood.
forward, it's understood that the speed of the boat will be greater than river. Anyway, so in this case, the speed, how can we calculate speed? Everywhere, speed is basically having only one formula. It's basically distance upon time. I hope you know that. Now, in this case, I'll say in case of downstream, the speed is 84 divided by 4. In case, oh, my
So
bad.
that is the first.
Yeah, upstream. And in case of downstream, you have 105 divided by 3. Okay. Okay. So downstream, your speed is how much? It's 105. Okay, I'll not write that over here. I'll calculate it over here. 105 divided by 3 is 35. So in downstream, your speed is how much? It's 35. And 84 divided by 4 gives you how much?
Sir, 21.
Yeah, 21. So these are your equations. And what you're supposed to find? You're supposed to find the speed of the boat. So simply you add them. River gets cancelled. You'll get 2 times boat speed is equal to 35 plus 21 is 56. That gives you boat speed as 56 divided by 2 is how much? 28, huh? 28 is your answer. Kilometer per hour. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Great. So make a note of it. I believe you guys are done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
Just a minute. Let me just check where's the. Just a minute. Okay. Actually, dear student, I'm opening this um the textbook of yours. It's what actually remember in the last class I had told you that my computer is not working, so I had to borrow a PC from a laptop from my neighbor. Yeah, so that laptop is not so efficient. So the problem is the laptop takes a lot of time to open a file. Okay, by the time it opens, let me just give you a brief. But yeah, I will need that PDF. Yep, it's better to open only. Mm, yep, it's almost there. Is my screen visible to you guys? Is my
Yes,
screen
sir.
visible to you guys? Okay, that's great. So here it is. This is the next chapter which we are going to deal with, my dear children. So it's like an equation, like what is a quadratic equation? An equation which has one variable. So first, the like point to highlight is like previously the equation which we were dealing was simultaneous equation which had two variables. Now this will have only one variable. Now you'll say, sir, linear ko bhi to one ही variable tha. Then what is the difference between linear and quadratic? I'll tell you. Now the quadratic will have its highest power as 2. So in linear we had only x raised to 1. But in case of quadratic, the highest one will be x raised to 2. Okay. So x square will be the highest index or maybe highest power of x. Okay. ठीक है. Now, the highest power of variable in a given equation is called as degree. We call it as degree or order. These terms I had already taught you in the previous class while teaching you linear equations. Hence, the quadratic equation is the equation of second order, I say. So, linear is the equation of first order. Quadratic will be the equation of second order. The standard form of quadratic equation is a x square plus bx plus c. So, where a and b and c should be real numbers only, no imaginary numbers. So this is a basic understanding out of which this general form is definitely very important. So far, is it clear for you guys? Do you have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
That's great.
No, sir.
Wonderful. So let's try solving examples one by one. So first example they have given us like by x square minus 6x plus 8. The equation is having one variable, that is x, and its index or its order is 2. And no term includes a variable which has index greater than 2, hence it is quadratic equation. So here we are trying to identify the quadratic equation. This is definitely a quadratic equation because the maximum power is 2 and the coefficients of all the variables, they are not an imaginary number, they are definitely a real number. And when we think about the second one, second equation mein, when you see directly, when you see अरे हाँ ये तो x cube है, then it's not a quadratic equation. Don't directly jump into conclusions. So you should always remember this equation should have the right hand side. One side of it should be equal to 0. So as you can see here, one side is not equal to 0. So just do one thing. Let's simplify and take everything on one side and see what is happening. Now, in this case, first, what have they done? They have basically the opened the bracket. When they opened the bracket, x multiplied with x, and here it should have been x cube, not x square. And then this x multiplies with 5 to give you minus 5x. And what happens? X cube on the left hand side, x cube on the right hand side, they gets cancelled with each other. And initially, when you say, "Arey ha, x cube hai," so you will feel, "Arey, it is not a quadratic equation." But no, don't do that. You solve them, you simplify them, see if they are getting cancelled or what. In this case, they got cancelled, and what we are left with is basically x square on one side and minus 5x on the other side. When you take minus 5x to the other side, you'll get plus 5x. So 0 equal to x square plus 5x. So this is an equation which is having 0 on one side and x k terms on one side, and the maximum power of x is 2. Hence, you'll call this equation as a quadratic equation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now let's go for the third example as well. Here you'll see अरे x square है and x के अलावा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. But don't underestimate this denominator. As you have already seen the format of what do we say? Quadratic equation does not have any x in the denominator, so you'll have to eliminate this x also. So you cannot say that this is a quadratic equation. Don't directly say that this is a quadratic equation. No, you should wait. So when you take x to the side, it will be multiplied with x. You'll get x cube. x cube plus 1. You take x to the other side, it becomes 4x. When you take x this side, you'll get x cube minus 4x plus 1. Now this is in the format of a quadratic equation, but unfortunately the maximum power is 3, which means this is not a quadratic equation. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, steps for solving a quadratic equation. Express the equation in standard form. Factorize the okay, what are the steps? First, express the equation in a standard form. So here in the above equations also we did that only for the first time. पहले हमने क्या किया? We tried expressing those equations in the standard form. तब तक हम लोग ने शुरू नहीं किया था. Once it is coming in the standard form, what is the standard form? It is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So where a, b, c can be any real number. It can be a positive number, it can be a negative number. It doesn't matter which positive or negative, it doesn't matter, but it should be a real number. It should be a number basically. Okay. Yeah. Second one, factorize the expressions on LHS of the equation. So LHS is this. So you'll have to factorize this. How to factorize? I've already taught you in the previous sum. Today only I've taught you. I'll do it again when we'll be solving this sum. What like shall give you a very simple hint. So sorry. Third one, equate each factor equal to 0 and solve. So this also I've done in the previous problem in this previous worksheet. So for example, if you have one equation like this, x square plus 11x minus 42. So what you have to do is basically minus 42 should be the product of these two factors. Let me call those factors as a and b. So minus 42 should be product of a and b, and plus 11 should be the sum of a and b. So you'll have to find what is a and what is b. What do you think? What should be the answer?
Sir, 14 and minus 3.
It's 14 and minus 3.
Very good. 14 and minus 3 is absolutely correct answer. So what happens if you need plus 11, 14 should be positive and 3 should be negative. And when you multiply them, you will automatically get 42. So hence, in the second step, what they have written is like x plus 14 on one side and x minus 3 on the other side. So this is a direct solving method. What I've taught you is basically the detailed solving method, and this is a direct solving method. So directly you can create two brackets. On one bracket you can put 14, on the other bracket you can put minus 3. And what you have to do, you have to write x plus 14 equal to 0 or x minus 3 equal to 0. Then you solve, you'll get the value of x as well as two values of x you'll get. So for this equation, there are two possible answers. It's either minus 14 or minus 3 or both of them. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Great.
So
So
how to understand what is the correct value of x between the two?
see, in the previous case, we simply eliminated the negative sign because it was a length. So sometimes we get hints like this. If it's a length, if it's time, if it's distance, all these things, they cannot be negative. So you can directly ignore the negative value. But if such kind of hints are not given, which means you will have to keep it like this only, like how they have given. Solutions are both. Minus 14 is also a correct answer. 3 is also a correct answer. You have to write both of them. Okay. So ideally speaking, you are
Okay, sir.
expected to write both of them. You can eliminate one only if the condition says so. Otherwise, don't eliminate anything. Write both the answers.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So since we are done with the time, let's do one thing and let's wind up this session and see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. See you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Bye, sir. Thanks.